Welcome back everyone, hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today I'm picking up this car here, taking it straight to scrap. It's an old Suzuki, about 2002. We got the mighty Mitsubishi Lancer. It's got the towing A-frame in there, all the tools, all that sort of stuff. And so the plan is, we're going to hook up a strop to the front, to the tow bar, and you rotate it, try and get it turned around the right way. Then I can hook the A-frame on the front and tow it straight to the wreckers. And that's the plan for this morning anyway, get this thing done. Yeah, so I've got this tied to the front. It's to the tie down point there. So the tie down point is two on either side. That's where the A-frame's going to chain up to anyway. And what we're going to do is tie this back to tow bar. We'll do that just now. Basically got the strop all hooked up. What I would like to do before I actually tighten the strop, and so I can't get in the door, is put the steering lock on the way where I want the vehicle to turn. So that's ignition on, and I want a hard lock. So when I'm turning the vehicle, I might want to just rotate around. Now what doesn't show on the camera is that way down there it's just steep. So normally I like to leave the handbrake on, so it's pulling back and then just rotating the front around as long as it's out of gear, which we also got to check as well. But what I'm thinking about, for sure that's in neutral, sorry. What I'm thinking about is undoing it, but I'll undo the handbrake. It might naturally want to go down the hill, so I've just got to hope it doesn't end up down there. It just makes it easier for this front wheel drive car. If it was four wheel drive I wouldn't even bother, but this Mitsubishi Lancer is not the most powerful vehicle in the world, and it's not four wheel drive, so I'm just hoping that I can rotate it, because even though it's gravel there, but it's not a heavy car, so it's only a Suzuki Alto 2002, so hopefully I can rotate it around. Let's give it a go. That's it, turned around a little bit harder on the gear than I want to be, but just with the car I've got at the moment. But we're going to try and 360 it now, so considering it came from here and we've got it this way now, I should be able to, because it's flatter here, so it sort of slopes away a little bit there, so I can hopefully rotate it back, push it back by hand. If I need to, I'll pull it forward. It's just a pain because if I was further over it might have helped, but as you can see it's just the grass that wheel will sit, not getting any traction on, and that tyre there is one that's got very little tread in it. So I'm hoping to get that replaced today anyway, because I'm going through to the wreckers and see they've got a set of tyres for the front of it. That's the whole other idea of me going through, because I said I was going to replace that tyre because I'm not happy with it in the last video. So with me going through with this, hopefully I can get a cheap tyre put on the front, if not 2 cheap tyres, because that's got nothing on it basically, and it's just spinning there anyway. But it's all good. That's just part of wheeling and dealing and picking up old wrecks. Anyway, I'm going to turn this thing around and then hook the A-frame on, and then we'll head away. So A-frames in general, okay, so we've got the Suzuki. It's only a tiny car, it's going to the wreckers straight away. The wreckers is about 25 minutes away, so it's not a long tow, and that's me just sitting at probably 60 to 70 k's all the way over to Richmond. And this car's going off the road permanently. It's not registered, it's not warranted. It's a grey area with A-frames. I've got towing lights and all that stuff for towing a vehicle like this, just to get it permanently off the road. And it's all on back roads as well, so that's a good thing. But realistically, if you're wanting to tow a car, you better just towing with a trailer or a car transporting truck. A-frames, I'm not sure the legalities of them because everyone tells you different things. The ones that are permanently mounted to the vehicles, I feel maybe are a little bit better. You know, as you see towing Suzukis behind caravans, they're alright. But these temporary ones, you can't use them for a 2-hour tow down to Christchurch sort of thing, you know. They're really only designed for short temporary use. That's all I'm using it for, because I can't hire a trailer with this Mitsubishi. The Mitsubishi wouldn't be able to do it. Well, we'll be able to do it, but it's just too much work for it. Where me just hooking this 600 kilo odd car, I don't think it's that heavy. It might be nearly 800, say 900, a ton even, on an A-frame behind the car. That's fine, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to hook the A-frame on anyway, just now, to the Suzuki, take it to the wreckers, and yeah, I'll show you how I hook it up anyway, because a lot of people have been emailing me regarding it. So let's see. So I'll show you down here. On a lot of Japanese cars, you've got these eyelets up here. I don't know if you can see that. And 90% of Japanese cars have got them. And the idea behind that is this chain here will go through that hole and out, and then through here, and then lock in to that. And then once that's all locked in, this thing here is adjuster, and that torques the chain. It basically pulls the chain forward, and then these chains get real taut, and then there's no movement, and it's as safe as you can do it. You never really want to do it on bumper mounts. Tie downs are a lot stronger. Bumpers are only designed to bump, not to pull. And you see that with a lot of Morris Minors in New Zealand as well. People got A-frames for them where they take the front bumper off a Morris Minor because they've got these little like threaded rod, and then they bolt it an A-frame, and yeah, they are strong, and they seem to get away with it, but those threaded rods are only really tacked, if not lightly welded on the inner guard. And I have had one before. It was just literally 2 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes, when we were down had the yard further down the road, and we towed it, and the actual eyelet tore out of it, the actual threaded rod bit. So it's not a good idea to tow with them. On a Morris Minor though, there's no other way to tow than putting it on a trailer. There's nothing on the front of a Morris, but that threaded bolt was holding a bumper, and that is only designed to bump. It's not designed to pull, so that's why you never do that. It's only on things that are designed to tie down. These things here, I think, are for tying them on boats and stuff, and you tie them down so they don't move, and they seem to be on all Japanese cars, which is really good. Sometimes you can use them around suspension components, these chains as well, but it just depends, because you don't want the arms, because the arms are adjustable. You don't want the arms to expand and retract on the road. You know, even if the vehicle starts catching up with the tow vehicle, or when you're braking, it could actually just splice it when you're braking. And it's not like skiing when you're trying to brake. It sort of makes things a little bit more interesting and things bind up and break, and it's no good. The other bar I've got as well is just a solid bar with a cap link on it, and that's to tone those big Bedford CFs, because you cannot get them on a trailer. Now most of the higher trailers here, there's one trailer locally that can get that Bedford CF with normally the ones I'm doing with, they've got aftermarket wheels, so they're quite wider again, you know, but got such a wide track. And Range Rover P38s, they're another one. Some of the Volkswagen tow rags as well, they just got such a wide track, you can't get them on trailers. So if you can put the bar on it, and on the Bedford CFs are really good, because they've got literally a two prong right in the centre of the subframe. It's like and I can put the bar straight through in there, and the bolt between the two. It's off an old Jag XJ6 rear suspension bolt. That's so big, and I've never bent that in the years and years I've used it. Still got a spare bolt, because I took 2 bolts out of the rear suspension and kept one for spare, and I thought I'd bend that, but I haven't done it yet. A lot of the old trucks are the same as well, because they're too heavy, you know, like the Commodores and the Morris trucks. You try and tow them, unless you've got the right tow vehicle and the right trailer, you're giving up on things like that. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Let's get this thing on the road and hooked up, get the light bars on. I don't even know if the light bar's going to work, so I only just picked this one up. It's had a Bluetooth one, and it wasn't working. So we'll get this done, and I'll get back to you. There's something else I've realised. I thought I could get away with just chucking a spare on it. I might endeavour, because I'm going to have to take it off to see if the one in the car will squeeze onto it. But you're talking about a 13-inch and a 14-inch wheel. I know it's only an inch difference, but might not work. Looks like a 4x100 anyway. I'm sure that's what the Mitzi is. Put the Mitzi spare on, and I'll have to then take it off at the wreckers, which is kind of annoying. But what I'm going to do is have to probably take the wheel off, because it's got a flat like the Mitzi when I picked it up, and go and get air in it. So I have to run away now, because it's quicker for me to go down the road and get the air put in this tyre. I hope it holds here when I come back and put it on, then try and go up the road, start a generator, drag the compressor out, plug the compressor in, find the hose, find the tyre inflator, and that then takes an hour for me to do that. It's not all simple anyway. But yeah, this tyre here is flat, and I'll show you the spare, because I was hoping I could use a spare. I'd use the spare, but the spare was flat. Check out that, where that thing's gonna pop if I put any in that. I don't know if you can see it, it's like a mountain in the side there. Someone's got the maximum amount of life out of that tyre. Good to see someone getting maximum life out of things, but that there is ridiculous. I'm not even up to being a spare in the back of the car either, so whoever put it away, not a good idea, you know. And I think as well with warrants, as long as the spare is secure, they can't tell you spare tyre's flat for a warrant, I believe, which is a bit weird. Anyway, Suzuki Alto, it's nothing really fancy. The guy obviously used it for carting hay and horse poo and all the rest of it, so it's quite dirty inside. As you can see, there's nothing amazing as a car. If I was to wreck it, I wouldn't get anything out of it. And there's not enough people that have these here that makes it worthwhile wrecking it, because someone that's running around an economical car like this won't pay $50 for a front headlight, or you know, $50 for a wheel and tyre, you know what I mean, or $20 for a bumper. You know, I'll give you $10 sort of thing, and it'll take so long to even get $400 out of it in parts. Even though I said that 20 parts at $20 is $400, I can go and wreck this car today for $500 easy, and it's money in your hand, move on. Something like this, I don't like to hold on to. They're ugly, you don't get the parts out of them. If you install them long term, I'm talking about long term, you don't have rents or anything like that, you can just park in the corner of a field, you might get something for it. If it was running and driving, which this is definitely not running and driving, there's a lot of fuses missing, and I'm not going to figure out why it's not running and driving either. But if it was a guaranteed running and driving car, sell on as a go-kart or something like that, then you'll get $700 or $800 for it. But being unrunning, untested as is, just scrap it, you know. It's not even worth the hassle, you know. So That's why these things end up the way they do. Anyway, I'll catch you back in 5 minutes. It's not going too well. In the back of the Aladdin's cave there in the Mitsubishi, I can't seem to find all the tools I left loose on the floor because I wasn't sure about the Mitzi's tyre that you can see just there. Wasn't sure if that was going to hold air or the one on the car I just chucked on was going to hold air, so I never putting the tools away. I left them on the floor and then I loaded up when I came back from Christchurch and I put them to the side so I could easily access them basically. And unfortunately I can't find the thing for the jack to wind them up, and or the wheel brace, so that's a bit of annoying. But I do have tools here, so I've got an adjustable wrench which I'm going to just hopefully just snig on that, and then just there'll be a bit more of a calamity to maybe wind it up, but hopefully I can just wind it up. But it's just more strain on the wrist than anything. I'm trying to make my life easier, not harder. It doesn't seem to be working, but yeah, if I just do it this way, you see the action on that, eh? So it will take me probably another half an hour to be here messing about. Should I put it in park? I better double check that before it goes any higher. So, I don't put it in park, the handbrake's on. I'll put that in park. And yeah, go from there. Then we've got to test the new light board that I've got as well. I'll do that after the fact. It should work, it's only bulbs and the cable anyway. Yeah, this is the sort of stuff I end up doing if someone wants rid of a car, you know, like this. I think the tenant here left the car here and didn't want to take it away, so they contact me and can you get rid of it. So I don't mind, it's an easy money for the day, you know. Like if I go into an 8-hour day shoveling concrete like I used to, it's hard, miserable work really. You know, you're doing it just for a paycheck, but this is sort of a job I can do in the morning, and the rest of the afternoon I can do what I want. That's ideally what I like to be doing, but I end up doing more work like this anyway in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Better be busy than not being busy anyway. I do need to get some proper setup, but that's what the comment's going to be. Big toolbox in the back and all the tools organised, so, and proper trolley jacks. I've got bottle jacks, but they don't go under these cars the same. And yeah, but I'll get this off and then get back to you. Just keeps getting worse, unfortunately. This jack, because they're not on a real level area, it's hard to really see on camera anyway. I'm just going to have to resort to plan B now with jacking this car up. It's only a little car, it's giving me a lot of big problems for a little car. So my idea here is the jack. I don't really like scissor jacks because they do twist if you're on uneven surfaces. So I'm just going to punch it right through the silver, have to, just as a precaution. This is my bottle jack, and it's probably been set outside for a wee bit. But, I mean, I don't really care too much about the floors or the sills in this thing, so it's just somewhere that feels solid. You know, punches through it, punches through. If I put it on the suspension turret, just even if it's holding on that corner there, that might give me enough. As you can see, I'll turn you around, that jack there is starting to twist, starting to go like that. So when it starts to want to wander, it's liable to take the car that way with it too, but it's also liable to buckle all that. So the idea now is just to probably lightly jack up on this, take the weight off the this jack, and then just try and rearrange it so it's not twisted. And I did find the tools in the back in Aladdin's cave, so I can use the jack the way it should be used, because that'll make my life easier. instead of trying to use adjustables. So I've just sort of hit the jackpot, which is going to save me some time actually on this job, is that the spare out the mitts, does fit on it, as I thought it's a 4x100. You can tell sometimes by looking at them. The only issue is, I'll show you swinging around, once this suspension comes down, is it going to rub in here? But it might be enough just to get me down the road, take it to the fuel station, and top here into the actual tyres off the car. Check this one, because this one's actually feeling a little bit soft, but maybe with it being soft it might work okay. The other thing I can do is probably rotate it, but I don't want to take it off the handbrake because I've only just put in park, so, and when you take it off the handbrake it might just take a little roll back a little bit till it's locked completely in park. It's hard to really explain what I'm trying to say, but I don't want it to fall off the jack, so I'm feeling around it and it feels that it's going to clear everything. But you don't want to get down the road and then you hear scuff, 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 or plumes of smoke billowing out, because different offsets. As far as I can see, it looks like it is going to work. So I'm just going to put it on and get it out of here, and then I'm just going to have to take it off at the wreckers. But they might be able to lift it up on the forklift there and be a 2-second job so you can jack out again. So I've just actually managed to release the handbrake, put some blocks under the wheels and that, just to check the rotation of this wheel. Can you hear that? Hopefully that's going to get down the road. That feels like it's the brake. There's definitely wheel bearing issues there, but it's also got, feels like the shoes maybe, the adjuster's ticking away. But that wheel bearing is quite loud as well. Got a rumble to it and it's got a little bit of play in it. Should be fine just to tote down the road anyway to the wreckers, but it's not catching on anything. That's the only reason why I'm doing that, to make sure it's not rubbing on any components and all that. And when you do that, you always find out something else you rather not know. Anyway, that's good. I'm going to drop this down, put the lights on and get this thing to the wreckers. That's me ready to go now. I've got the wiper blade supporting the cable running to the tail lights, so it might want to go that way, but it's not going to go all the way onto the road and get caught under the wheels. Comes along, I'll show you this. I had to zip tie the chains as you, with these running through to tie it to the chassis of the car. Basically you've got a lot of excess chains, and so zip ties, always zip tie them up, otherwise these just bang on the road and just start. You see how worn that is anyway. It's been doing that in the past as well when these do break. But yeah, I'll adjust that one up later. From memory, this one's really taut and that one gets a little bit loose sometimes, but I'll tow it down the road, and then this adjuster here, I can adjust it more once it's gone back and forward and figured out where it wants to settle. It's got the chain there, it's got the cable there, something else. Kind of annoying me a little bit now because I've just swapped the wheel just with me putting tail lights on. It's not perfect, but at least you'll know when I'm going left and when I'm going right, hopefully. And yeah, that tyre's starting to go soft, so that's annoying. I hope they get there in time, but I'm going to stop and put air in the other one, so I just don't have to change tyres 3 times in a day, because that just does annoy me. Anyway, we'll get this on the road and see how it goes. It's the job done for the day. It went really good. I've got the rest of the afternoon now to play around with some other stuff. I did end up getting brand new tyres put on the Mitsubishi while I was over there. Can't get second hand ones in 14-inch anymore, which is a pain. But that's one less thing this car needs now for a warrant. I also picked up a headlight at another wreckers, so that means this car's definitely going to get its next warrant, hopefully. Still running, you know what I mean, it's Chris's Lemons after all. And yeah, so I do appreciate you guys tuning back in, and thanks for watching all that nonsense, and I'll see you back in the next video with the next car or parts or scrap I get.